Alright, Shalom Ahava Alaikum Purnota Shalasifrota. Coming back to you with what I think is the sixth or seventh, pretty sure the seventh part of the series. And just to recap a little bit, in the last video when we ended up with this beautiful piece of gematria to complement the very last four words of our Gemara, which stands as a key. If we remember that this Taf stands for We, well, really it should be We Torah. This should be the other way, but it doesn't hurt the addition. We Tלמוד Torah Keneged Kolam. This is what this stands for. It's a Rosh Tevos, the head letters. It's the gematria of Mut. Mut, death. So where's the Rachamim of Hashem? The Rachamim of Hashem is when we see that the same gematria is Ha'emet. We discussed this before. But what I want to do is I want to take this a little bit further. I want to take this gematria of Ha'emet and we take the same letters. What we do is we rearrange them into Etma. El Tanano Hakadmonim Omrim Lelefi Lemot. And so the ancients cry out, don't let the light die out. Don't let it die out. Don't let the torch die out. Always ask, what is this? Because what have you known? What have you seen? What is stand before you? What will take witness to you under heavens and earth? And will put you in that proper place. Why? Because you know nothing. So that's what they say. Carry the torch of wisdom. Don't let it die out. If it dies out in this world, we're fucked. We're fucked so hard. So that's why Ha'emet. How do we get the Ha'emet? We don't want to get Mut. We take this value. We learn our lesson. So okay. We want the Ha'emet, obviously. How do we get the Ha'emet? This is the Rachamim. It's not necessarily Chesed because it's still an element of Gevura, but it's Rachamim. It's the center pillar. It's the Amudah Dam Sagita. It's the center pillar. Because Ha'emet rearranges into Etma, into the sign, the Et, right? This word in Hebrew has really no translation in English, but we can roughly translate it to the overall classification of what Ma is within our scope of wisdom. And what is this? Behold, when Ma Hu Begematria, you take a stack of 9 lines. And on the very first one you have an aleph, which is the value of 1. The next line you have 2, then 3 alephs, then 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 9. As we know, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 45. And Ma has the same gematria value as 45. It's also Adam. Now as you can see, I've made a division to show you where the Sephiroth are here. Now Kether is all the way up here. Right, obviously being in the Golgotha, you're going to have accountabilities for the higher parts of him. It's kind of automatic at this point. Then the Yesod being the 9th line down, right, Kether, Chochma, Bina, Das, which would be the parcel of Bina, Chesed, Gevurah, Teferet, Netzach, Chod, Yisad. So from the Chesed, Din, Teferet, Netzach, Chod, Yisad, this is an entire Zerayin pin. And the Zerayin pin there in the Golgotha corresponds directly. Here is a very rough Hebrew Zion and Aleph, Zerayin pin, is Ma. Is literally the name Ma in the ancient tradition of the Kabbalah. So what does that tell us? That means that the gematria value that we got from these initial Rosh tables, which is the study of Torah is equal to everything, to all of these statements, holds the body for Ma. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Because Ma is a question word. It refers to the top, the edge of heaven, called Seg, called Bina, the Samech Gimel, the 63-letter name. But to complete all of this into one shot, what we have to do is we have to provide the Malchut. The Malchut is in the likeness of the cornerstone. The Malchut is the place where you build the structure. If there's no Malchut, there's no nothing. Right? Period. So we have to get the Malchut. Behold, that's the 10th line. It's only 10 more. So the value becomes not 45. Aval Shema ki Shemna. It's one thing to say that it's only 10 aleph more, from 45 to 55, ma and then na. But nun is the next letter. Adding 10 from mem, you get nun. So here we have not only a direct sequence and relation to completing the Sephiroth with the name Ma, and it's fitting that it's the name Ma to hold Zerampin, because that's a direct correspondence to that. It ends in Yisad for the value. It's that much more referential. But now when we include the Malchut, right? Let's count. Kether, Chochma, Bina, Chesed, Din, Teferet, Netzach, Chod, Yisad, Malchut, right? Well, Gam Hu Hen, this is Hen, right? Because Na can be rearranged to Hen. This value is 55. It's also Hen. What is Hen? Behold, Elohen. Do we remember the 10 statements from the very beginning of the video? Well, these are them. And so at the very end, this sort of pyramid, this sort of, series lines up perfectly with the Sephiroth. Lines up perfectly with the 10 statements in the Gemara. This is not a coincidence. This is also the 10, 10, 10, which is the 3 yods of the shin, the 3 drops of the sword. And it is also written that David made a name. But that's very deep. And we see here the most amazing correspondence, because within this Gemara there's 32 words. So here we have the 32 paths of wisdom. This is strictly Chokhmah. We have the Sephiroth. You can call this really Kether, because the Atzilut is there in that place. And then here we have the olives, which is the actual count. And really I would say that the olives are the Kether. We have the Sephiroth, which would be the Chokhmah, and then the 32 paths would be the Bina, which includes all of them. This is one very good way and very solid way we could understand what we just learned. And notice how the name Ma, which almost upheld the structure, led to the name of Na, which is the entire thing. It's 5 and 5, 55, Hey and Nun. And this Hey and Nun rearranges to Hen as in Elohen, right? And these Elohen are Kivod Avim, וגמילות חסדים, השכמת בית המת השקרית והערבית, ובהכנסת אורחים, וביקור חולים, ובהכנסת כלה, ולוויית המת, ובעניין תפילה, והרחבת שלום מן אדם וחברו, ובין איש לאשתו, ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. And notice how with Talmud Torah Keneged Kolam, the last statement, again, the study of Torah is equal to them all, is in the index value of Yud, which is the smallest letter. And so therefore, like I said, this one statement contains and comprises all the wisdom we learn within the small dot, within the small wisdom, the Chokhmah, the first dot of the Yud, as it is written, Tehillim Shituchma Yirat Adoina Yirat Hashem, that the first wisdom is to fear Hashem. And so, Titurer, wake up, with Timsah Chaim, and get a life, find a life. Zo Kabbalah Emitit. This is the true Kabbalah. Wake up and get a life. And here I have two very beautiful memes to end off the series, which I fucking find hilarious. The left one is basically a quote from Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 5. Get wisdom, get understanding, and do not forget my words or turn away from them. Meaning God's wisdom, God's understanding. And then in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 19, it says, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. The intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. So God's not playing. In the Old Testament, he gives you the wisdom, he gives you the understanding. He says, do not turn away from this. And then he says later, nah, I'm going to take it away from you. Obviously, there's a reason why. But the meme still stands strong and pretty funny. And then to our right, we have basically a Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim. A Jew says, my father is Adam, my mother is Eva, is Chava, right? The Christian says, okay, yeah, my father is Adam, my mother is Chava. The Muslim says, my father is Adam, my mother is Chava. And then the atheist says, oh my God, my father is this. And it's a fucking baboon. Oh, excuse me, may God forgive me. It goes a step further and it says, and my mother is this, which they show a picture of a fascinated ape, a fascinated chimp. That's the funniest shit, because at least the three monotheistic religions understand the truth and understand the lineage. And the lineage, and all the atheists, they go around and claim themselves to be what they are, and not realizing that they're saying that their ancestors are monkeys. And I fucking went off about this in my first video on the last channel when it was up. It's some funny shit. It's some really funny shit. But seriously, titureru. With Timsach Chaim, get the fuck up and find a life. This is the real Kabbalah, what I just presented. I hope everyone enjoyed. And I believe this is one of the last slides. But, yeah. And this is one last treat here in the last part of this series. If it's the 7th video, that'd be pretty cool. And remember the map of the world that I showed you in the beginning of the series? Well, it's the same map. I told you to remember it. Because you can actually trace out on the world map a letter Tav and a letter Vav. Right? The letter Tav is comprised of Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, right? The whole shebang. And then the Vav is comprised of North America and South America. And the Vav literally is 6. 6 is like triangle pointing up, triangle pointing down. That's as above, so below. That's a Vav. North America, South America is exactly what that is. And the Tav is the Eastern Hemisphere. Why? Because what's the Tav? The Tav is salvation. Where does salvation arise? From the Holy of Holies. Where is that? The Holy of Holies is in the temple. Where is the temple? The Temple Mount. Where is the Temple Mount? In Jerusalem. Where's Jerusalem in Israel? Where's Israel in the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Okay? And this is the Melech Melchei HaMelech, and the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And obviously many blessings as Mashiach, Yeshua, and to all the Mashiachim. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video, was able to learn something, and that the keys and the hints and the lessons were enjoyable. As it is written, that the words of Torah shall be, more sweet and more savory than gold and silver can bring a man, or of delicacies on a royal table. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Anochi churnota shel asifrota, v'ani dabrati alechem shalom ve'sela. Amen.